Hey everyone, Cora here, and I'm here with Cesar of Tezcatek. How are you doing today?
Good, and you?
Doing great. We saw your game from across the hall. We wanted to come and take a look at it. Can you tell us a little bit about Carpathian Nights?
So, Carpathian Night first started off as a hobby project, something I just did on the side for fun. I've been a lifelong fan, obviously, of the Castlevania series, and my favorite entry was always Super Castlevania 4. But that was like a very experimental kind of black sheep entry in the series. They experimented with a lot of things, but the series never picked back up with what they experimented with. It was kind of like a dead end. So I waited for a long time for another game like it to come out, and it never did. So that's when I started getting the idea, well, if I'm going to work on a side project, how about I try iterating on what they established back then in Super Castlevania 4. And that's how the project started. And it eventually became a full-time project of mine, because the feedback we'd get from early demos we released was really positive, and it gave us encouragement. And on top of the feedback, we just loved the work we were creating. We're really proud of it. So we kept going and going and going until it became a full product.
Now, we did see that it's starring Bela Lugosi. How did you manage that?
So the game wasn't originally a Bela Lugosi game. The original concept of Gorm was not only to iterate on Super Castlevania 4, but we were also, the people that created this game were also big fans of classic horror cinema, which is what made me like Castlevania in the first place, because I also love classic horror cinema. So the game was already structured from the beginning to be a love letter and a tribute to the golden era of horror cinema. So when we got the idea to make it a Bela Lugosi game and reach out to Lugosi Enterprises for it, the foundation was already laid out. Bela Lugosi managed to fit right into what we were already building, and the Lugosi Enterprises kind of saw that and agreed with us, and it was just a perfect fit to bring him into the video game realm for the first time. This is his debut video game, and the whole game around him not only pays tribute to his work, but to the work of other movies of his era.
Awesome. Would you say this is a fairly, I don't want to say faithful because that's not the correct word, but does it follow a lot of the Dracula story and Dracula myth, or is it just a simple vampire story?
So one of the things that I didn't like about, one thing we wanted to do differently from Castlevania is to ground the story much, much tighter into the Dracula novel. And so for our backstory, we tied into the fact that in the novel they mentioned that Dracula comes from Skullomance, the school of the devil. That's where he became a vampire. That's where he learned his dark sorcery. And not just that, but there's a lot of references from the novel and the book throughout. We tried our best to, because the original Dracula novel isn't an action-packed,
No.
It's very slow paced. So how do you fit that into an action game? Well, starting with Skullomance, it gives us a reason to fit in with having him summon an army of the undead, have all these other creatures that are already associated with the devil, like werewolves, witches, evil spirits, stuff like that. So grounding it in a novel still worked as far as turning it into an action game. And I've always loved the Dracula novel as well, so it was real easy for me to make the connections of how an action game can work while remaining close to the source material of the Bram Stoker's novel.
So you're not playing as Dracula, you are still hunting Dracula.
Hunting Dracula. This is supposed to be his origin story when he first became a vampire. So it takes place 200 years before the events of the novel.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So where can we find this game so we can play it as well?
It's currently available on Steam, on the Nintendo eShop for the Switch, and it's coming to Xbox in a couple months, and on PlayStation before the end of the year, hopefully.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thanks for your interest.
Of course, and be sure to go check this out. It is a lot of fun, actually.